Mark, thanks. Well, obviously by that forecast, the winter weather is officially here and the holidays are well behind us, it feels like now. But some of us may be feeling a little down and out about it. 64% of people report experiencing post-holiday depression. Here to tell us about some ways we can help the blues is Dr. Tim Perry with Frontier Health. Dr. Perry, thanks for coming on again.
Thank you.
Well, first off, what exactly is post-holiday depression and what causes it?
Well, there's a couple of theories about what causes it. It usually happens after the hype and hustle and bustle of the holiday season abruptly ends. January 2nd, January 3rd, all of the celebrating, the partying, and all the gift giving and things kind of come to an abrupt halt. During the holiday season, your body produces stress hormones like adrenaline, norepinephrine, cortisol, and then those suddenly not needed come January. And when that happens, it sends your body into kind of a sluggish state. And then there is that perception of, well, there's excitement and enthusiasm and celebration. And then comes January where it's kind of darker time, weather's worse maybe, and you're not out as much, you're not socializing as much, and it looks in our mind to be a dreadful time of year. And so that kind of precipitates us feeling very blue and depressed.
So how is that, how do you know that this is what you're struggling with? Are there like some signs and symptoms you can look out for?
The symptoms are very similar to what you would find with major depression. A feeling of sadness most days, low energy, difficulty concentrating, irritability, poor sleep habits, anxiousness, difficulty concentrating. You start having those on a consistent basis. Usually holiday depression, post-holiday depression lasts for 3 to 4 weeks at most, and then it kind of starts to level off. If it's longer than that, it could be developing into something worse.
Well, we know that January also feels like a long month. I know that earlier I was talking about how it feels like, we should be done with January by now, but how can, that kind of play into all of this?
Well, it's similar to what you would experience with seasonal affective disorder, where there's a lack of sunlight, lack of activity outside. The weather doesn't let us get outside sometimes. So we start looking at days being longer because we're not able to get out more, we're not able to get into the sunlight as much, we're not able to have the mobility of it. So it seems like the month is much longer. And therefore it take on this perception of January as kind of the worst time of the year, where the holidays are the best time of the year. And that perception, called a contrast effect, can actually make us feel much more depressed, more sad, more isolated, and loneliness. Actually, 70% of people report they feel lonelier after the holidays during January and February.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because you're around family and you have things to look forward to from Thanksgiving on, and then of course, like you said, it ends and you repeat the cycle next year.
Right.
Yes, well, Dr. Perry, thank you so much for joining us here on First at 4 today. Well, don't forget, if you have any issues, you can always call Frontier Health or email them to set up an appointment.